around the Department of Defense. This is your daily news brief.
Beware of great power competitors. I'm Mark Weeks. Defense Secretary Dr. Mark Esper says it's increasingly clear that Russia and China want to disrupt international order by gaining a veto over other nations' economic, diplomatic, and security decisions. Speaking to an audience at the Royal United Services Institute in London today, Secretary Esper said European allies should be aware when dealing with China, as China seeks greater global influence by leveraging economic power and stealing technology.
I would caution my friends in Europe, this is not a problem in some distant land that does not affect you. The PRC's influence is expanding rapidly as it seeks to pursue new partners well beyond Asia. The more dependent a country becomes on Chinese investment and trade, the more susceptible they are to coercion and retribution when they act outside of Beijing's wishes.
The Secretary also said that Russia remains to be the greatest concern to most European nations.
Russia's invasion of Georgia in 2008, its annexation of Crimea in 2014, its continued aggression in Ukraine, and its efforts to serve as a spoiler to peace in Syria demonstrate Moscow's unwillingness to be a responsible international actor.
Secretary Esper said the NATO alliance remains vigilant and continues to adapt, improve unit readiness, build a credible deterrence, and fight to win if necessary. Defense Secretary Esper visited U.S. Africa Command in Stuttgart, Germany this week and met with AFRICOM's commander, U.S. Army General Stephen Townsend, subordinate commanders, and other key leaders to better understand the command's efforts and operations in Africa. The role of AFRICOM in addressing Chinese and Russian influence in Africa and counterterrorism efforts on the continent was discussed during the meetings, and the Secretary said the African theater is an integral part to achieving national security objectives. This was Esper's first visit to the command since becoming Secretary of Defense. National Guardsmen along the East Coast are on duty, ready to do what needs to be done in response to Hurricane Dorian. The chief of the National Guard Bureau said that Guardsmen from Florida to Virginia are assisting civilian agencies. Air Force General Joseph Lengyel said the Guardsmen provide aviation assets, medical aid, communications, security, transportation assets, and more. As the storm has moved up the coast, the states have adjusted their activated National Guards to respond as necessary. The general said overall, more than 8,000 Army and Air National Guardsmen are engaged in response to Hurricane Dorian. That's your DoD News Brief. I'm Mark Weeks. You can find more stories about your military at defense.gov and by using hashtag KnowYourMil.